Greetings, this is Bevin, and I'm an intuitive business mentor for empaths, lightworkers, and mystics. I'm pleased to bring you my series, 17 Concepts for Launching Your Spiritual, Holistic, or Creative Business. So each time I just share one short tip for all of you budding entrepreneurs out there. So let's dive in today. Working for yourself is very different than reporting to a supervisor or being in an office or on someone else's time schedule, especially if you work from a home office. I remember as I gradually built my business and I worked a day job for a period of time and worked, in my business on the evenings and the weekends. And then over time, as I got ready to be full time, I wondered, am I going to be able to discipline myself to be structured, to make sure that I'm getting everything done? Or was that only because I actually worked for someone else who had certain deadlines and proposals? I actually was nervous about that. But what I realized is that I indeed had the discipline to do it. It may take some time for you to discover your ideal daily, weekly, and monthly routine that allows you to both balance work and home life. These things are going to be more blended now, especially if you work from home. So, for me, I worked for 10 years as a landscape designer for a large corporation in the United States. And they required us to arrive at work at 6:30 in the morning. I am not a morning person. I have since discovered working full-time in my business that I'm actually a night owl. However, at the time, this was my job and I needed to push myself to do it. But every day I came home and I felt super drained. It was exhausting to be up at that hour. And the very first thing I had to do was help 100 different people, literally 100 different people, get the equipment, the lawnmowers, the things that they needed. Trucks were moving, guys were gassing things up. I mean, there was smells and sounds and all kinds of just immensely overstimulating experiences. And then I would go into my little cubicle and I would just be like, and it took me an hour just to recover from that morning routine. So when I decided to leave, to tender my letter of resignation and become a full-time entrepreneur, I realized it was really important for me to honor my own cycles. Now I wake up most days without an alarm clock, and my mornings are reserved for writing, cooking a healthy breakfast, doing meditation, doing oracle card readings. Sometimes I do shamanic drumming or I do personal errands. And so generally speaking, I work from like 11 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. And those times are open for coaching or working on content and doing marketing and those kinds of things. Then I eat dinner. And sometimes I work a little bit in the evenings, or I just decide to take some time off. I work a lot of weekends because that's when clients are available. And so I take time off during the week to compensate. And really for me, I think people would get resentful when they think, oh, I might have to work Saturday. Well, Saturday to me is just another day like any other day. So it's just as fine for me to be out and about and doing my personal errands and connecting with friends and family on Wednesdays. And that's my day off. It really doesn't matter. We've gotten into this cycle where we think like this is the schedule of life. And of course, most people do follow that rhythm, but now things are actually changing and people are negotiating to have more flexible schedules, which I think is really great. Each person's rhythm is going to be different. Your rhythm is different than mine. Plus, you need to be available when clients are available. And this doesn't mean you have to be on call 24/7. I talked about this in a previous video. If you don't ever want to meet someone at 9 o'clock in the evening, don't say that you're going to do that. Ask them to find a time on your schedule, on your calendar that works for both of you. You can be flexible, but if you find yourself like just negotiating and working here and here and here, you're never going to get a structure and you're never going to get a rhythm. One thing that I really learned is that when you become an entrepreneur, you need to ask your boss, which is you, for time off, right? I find it so easy to just keep working week after week after week and never taking a break, because the reality is that the work is never done. We talked about this in another video, and it's you who's driving the work. It's you who's bringing this forward. But this is something that's super important. So now in a year's time, I schedule off, 4 days to 7 days every quarter for myself just to be off of social media, to not be serving clients, to be, just focusing on me, whether it's a staycation or whether I actually get to travel. It's just really important to schedule that time off. And especially if you're juggling a day job and a part-time business, you have to have downtime. Believe me when I say the world will not end if you let go for a day or two. And it takes more than just a day to unwind your mind, your heart, your body. It takes several days for you to unwind. So I highly recommend, taking that time off. Let's see what the Sacred Rebels have to tell us about this, about managing your schedule, creating a lifestyle. This is really one of the concepts I teach in my business mentoring program, the Wisdom Circle for Novice Entrepreneurs, is that we want to create not just a business, but a lifestyle. What will actually nurture and support your sensitivity, your intuitivity. And for me, having the mornings off and just focusing on myself is one of those things that does that. So here's the card that came forward today, which is bring it into form. So when we get into this place where we feel like, okay, I've been receiving all this information, it's flowing through my heart. I'm ready now to bring it out into physical reality. I'm ready to make it concrete. I'm ready to serve with my gifts. We start running, right? We get going and we start running. And, you can see these footprints here. And we want to make an impact and we want to make a difference. And it's exciting. And we really get into that masculine energy. And we also need to remember and remind ourselves that we need time off, that we're not always meant to be on, that we're not always having to be manifesting something into physical form. It's important to have that balance. So when you get energized, obviously flow with that. And then don't allow yourself to push so hard that you get exhausted. Because I've been there. I've done that when I worked for someone else, and I've done that in my own business. It's just really important to pace yourself. You don't have to run. You could walk. You can take one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. So this is a really powerful card. I would love to talk with you more about the Wisdom Circle and the results that my clients have been getting inside of there. They come in with this idea. Here's what I think I want to manifest. And I actually help them develop the entire process of actually bringing that out into form, to go from having an idea to serving clients, to pricing your work, to understanding what platforms to choose, to spread your message and to be seen and heard, and how to beta test things and how to do market research. I really focus in on some very practical aspects of this. And then we combine that with this other part, which is, what is it that you need to thrive and serve? What is it that you need to nurture yourself and to receive, not just give, but also receive? So if this really lights you up, if you love this idea, I invite you to schedule a 30-minute Zoom chat with me. And we can talk about your conscious business ideas and all of these concepts that I've shared in this series, and explore whether the Wisdom Circle might be the right support system in your first 1 to 2 years of business. I've included the link to my online calendar with this video, and I would just love to help you bring this into form, right? Just bring this into form. I look forward to chatting with you, my friends, and to bringing you more tips to help expand part of what is my soul mission, to expand conscious business across our planet. Namaste, my friends.